Hi, everyone. Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com. It is Wednesday, July the 8th. Boy, July already moving. 2020, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Only a couple more Mondays with Mitch left, but we have, of course, the boys are here. Steve Monahan, Chris Ruffalo, and Rod Zawacki, all here to talk sports and give out picks. We're just a couple weeks away from me finally getting back into my meat and potatoes of picks. Like I said, we'll be launching a lot of new shows, new features, new stuff. And man, it feels weird because it's like, I know we've had a lot of time off, but I don't feel like I've had any time off. I know I've played some golf and done things like that, but I do that all the time anyway. But just means I get up earlier and go to bed later the more of that stuff I do. It's crazy, you know. It seems like I'm on calls now every day, all day after the show, during golf, after golf, whatever. So, this morning just been emailing for the past hour. It's 5:30 my time, so you can only imagine how long I've been up. But real excited about everything that's going on in sports. Very excited about everything going on at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. We finally have our live odds feed up at Pick Dogs. We'll be doing that at Sports Chat as well. You can see we're loading up our capper section at Pick Dogs, and it'll be up at Sports Chat as well very, very shortly, probably today. Of course, Ruffalo won't be on there, Monahan, because they didn't send me their picks. But Ruffalo just gave me the wide-eyed stare behind the camera. We'll get him on and get to the bottom of that. We have him muted right now, as he should be. But anyways, we'll bring in Steve Monahan. We'll talk a little bit of sports, about the sports news. DeSean Jackson's still an Eagle. Steve, what's up?
Right there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
DeSean Jackson's still an Eagle. That was my last words I said.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that, and I was going to lead with that. I mean, he did sincerely apologize after all, and it was so heart-wrenching. I just... what do you think? I mean, you said the Eagles will be in your crosshair if they don't release him, but I think he's going to stay.
I think that we see things like this once in a while where it's like very, very hard given the current environment to release a player like that. We saw it with Cooper Rush a few years ago. A lot of guys commented that on yesterday's show, but remember, I don't see Cooper Rush anymore, right? So it's kind of like that smooth phase.
Not Cooper Rush, was it Riley?
Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper.
Riley
Yeah.
Cooper.
We don't want to paint Cooper with the bad brush.
Wrong Cooper. I just like saying Cooper Rush. I just think it's a very cool name. It'd be great.
I mean, Howie Roseman and Lurie are both Jewish, and I think their statement was.
I mean, even if they're not Jewish, Jewish,
of course, I'm just.
It doesn't really matter. It's
stating a fact.
It's just, and I think the ignorance. If the ignorance excuse doesn't work for everybody, then why does DeSean Jackson get a pass on it? It certainly didn't work for Paula Deen, right? She claimed ignorance, right?
Oh, yeah.
She got no pass.
No.
Why does he get a pass?
Well, looks like he's getting a pass.
He's not getting a pass, trust me. Not getting one.
Well, he hasn't been released, so.
Yeah, let's see
maybe
how.
That's a pass.
This sounds like injured reserve. Smooth out the thing is what this sounds like to me.
That's right.
He might not make the varsity. They did draft a wide receiver in the first round last year too.
He'll get his comeuppance at one point. That's the point.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, Chris brings up an interesting point. You can't quote Hitler and say other people misread it. I think that pretty much sets. I mean, there's really no other place to go than that. There's no reason to even beat it into the ground. That pretty much says it.
Right. And then the other aspect of that is that Sean Jackson's a multimillionaire, so obviously he probably consulted a top PR person who came up with this statement. You actually think, I believe, that Sean Jackson actually wrote that apology himself? I'm not that naive, and that's the best they could come up with. And so he survived so far. But I think, to your point, come training camp, this, that, and the other thing, I think the Eagles will slowly but surely get rid of him.
Charles Ormsby just loves to Skype message me like right at 5:45 my time. It's like right when the show is going on. It's like, obviously not a fan of the show, but he certainly loves when everybody loves his product on the show, right? But yeah.
Well, not a hell of a lot of news out there, I would say right now. The NFL came out with like a top 10 quarterback list. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
Obviously,
I did not.
Mahomes.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I would like to. I would like to see it. Let's take a quick look at the top 10
Sure.
quarterback. Who you read them off for me? You take this one. I see. ESPN Plus did it.
I know Matt Stafford came in at 10. Dak made the top 10. He's at 9.
Oh my God.
You got Breeze up there. Meaning, he's slowly but surely falling. You got Carson Wentz is actually in the top 10. He's one of your all-time favorites.
Is Goff in there too? I mean, come on.
So Daniel Jones is the number one top. So obviously it's Mahomes
right.
number one.
I'll go 10 guys that are better than Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz. I'll go 10 off the top of my head. Okay.
This will be interesting.
Oh, this is going to be not even that interesting. It's going to be, you're going to be like, wow, maybe he actually does know what he's talking about. Okay. Number 1, Mahomes.
Yes.
Russell Wilson.
2.
Tom Brady.
Rodgers is 3.
Right, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying in any particular order.
Oh, I got you.
I'm saying Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 4 right there. Okay. I mean,
But that came in at 9, so I don't know what your point is.
How is he 9? Because of his playoff record? He's an expensive Haskins is all he is. He's just an expensive Haskins. He's no more than that. I would take Josh Allen from the Bills over both those guys too.
Still a little early for Josh
Oh
Allen.
my God, but it's not too early for Dak Prescott? Please.
No. And plus, Dak is going to get paid now about $38 million next year.
And Allen's not going to get that kind of money when his rookie contract expires.
My only point is Josh Allen has another 2 years or so before he gets his big payday. That's all. He's still got work to do, Josh.
One
Allen.
guy.
He's improving.
All right.
I'm a fan of him. I'm not saying I'm not.
Let's be okay. And I know people say this, and I'm always honest, so it's hard for me to say let's be honest. But let's just look at the big picture here, okay? Let's break this down on let's break this down kind of across the board. Okay, so Dak Prescott basically given the keys to a Cadillac with, the highest paid running back, the highest paid wide receiver, a pretty decent offensive line, a pretty decent defense. He's got 0 trips to the playoffs, right?
Correct.
Okay. Josh Allen, okay, given the Buffalo Bills, okay? The Buffalo Bills team in the same division as the Patriots, okay? He was drafted like 5th overall, so he was not hardly in position. Dak was drafted like, 3rd, 5th round, something like that, right? Yep. And so it was, further up the pecking order. This guy gets the Bills to the playoffs, nearly wins the frickin' AFC East, and he's not a better, and he is the leader of that team. He leads on and off the field. He is hard-nosed, equally as good a runner as Dak Prescott, and has twice the arm that he's got. I don't see it, man. Personally, I don't see it. You can go out, you can have Stafford. I mean, and Prescott and Wentz, All three of them. I'll take Josh Allen over any of those three any day of the week.
And don't you dare say I'm endorsing Matt Stafford and Carson Wentz in the top 10. I'm just giving you the top 10. That's all.
You're a golf guy.
But the thing is, 50 NFL executives came up with this top 10. So
Yeah, because they have to justify the money that they're paying
Of
these
course.
guys. I think Matt Ryan's, falling off the map here too.
He has.
He
has. So Brady obviously is in the top 10.
Phillip Rivers is better than all those guys too.
Phillip Rivers was.
No, he's better than those guys. Better than those guys. So is Jacoby Brissett.
It's all subjective, but I mean, the standard bears Pat Mahomes. I think that's unquestioned. So I think the debate is between Aaron Rodgers and
who has
and
more
Wilson.
playoff wins in the last year, Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott? I mean, how hard is this? Who do you want? If you want to win a playoff game, okay,
Yep.
do you have a higher probability of winning a playoff game, with Kirk Cousins, who beat the Saints in New Orleans?
The Dallas Cowboys defense stinks, and it has stunk. So I'm not throwing this all on Dak. I'm just not doing it. Ezekiel Elliott did not produce the way he's supposed to last year.
Because Dak doesn't provide the downfield threat, to loosen up the defense. They stack the line because they say, let this guy beat us. That's the philosophy. If I'm the defensive coordinator and I'm playing the Dallas Cowboys, and I have a choice of either being a little light up front and letting Ezekiel Elliott try and get through, into my secondary, I'm dead, right? Or let Dak Prescott beat me.
Well, listen, I'm giving him a clean slate because Jason Garrett is out and Mike McCarthy is in.
I'm going to let Dak Prescott.
I think that's going to be a huge influence in Dak being able to open up the offense. I do.
God, man. It's tough to watch. Ryan Tannehill was better than all of these guys too last season.
He had a good year. Nobody's denying that. Ryan Tannehill had a good year.
Better than all of those guys.
Yeah. So outside of that, the other big news for you is Garrett Cole struck out 6 New York Yankees.
Yeah.
In the scrimmages.
Yeah. This just tells you how rough it's going to be at the plate for the Yankees this season. It's like Mitch Wilson. It's like the natural. It's like the natural. He struck out the big bopper on.
Struck out Stanton. Ooh.
It's like my favorite scene from what was it? The Clint Eastwood Can't Hit the Curve or whatever.
With the curve.
Yes, that's it. Peanut Boy strikes the guy.
Pony Boy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And outside of that, I was looking at the baseball list a little bit. There's not that many actually have opted out so far. There's only seven or eight.
Ian Desmond is one.
Like Ryan Zimmerman and.
What happened to Ben Zobrist? Where's he?
Yeah, where is Ben Zobrist?
Where is Ben Zobrist? I noticed when we talked about the Cubs the other day, I couldn't think of what was missing. But when I hear Ian Desmond's name, I don't know, for some reason, he's kind of like Ben Zobrist. They're kind of very similar type guys, even though Desmond probably a little more of a power hitter than Zobrist. But Zobrist is he's that tough out guy,
Yeah.
Yeah, without him, the Cubs are dead, man. My guess is he ends up on the Cardinals as one of the best pinch hitters of all time.
But it seems like all the sports are ready to, get playing.
Yep, and speaking of playing, we have soccer action today. I'm going to bring in the Puck Dogs.
Got it.
We'll unmute Ruffalo. What's happening, fellas?
What did I do now?
Nothing.
Oh, maybe that's the point.
Looking for some soccer action picks. We got Major League Soccer starting today as well. We did not add that to our titles, but we have MLS action. Orlando and Miami kicking off the MLS tournament. We've got La Liga, EPL, and Serie A. Serie A, or A. It's A, but so I'm sure there's some people out there calling it Serie A, and I'm sure there's people calling it Series A.
It's Syria.
I've been in our Facebook group before. I'm sure there's some Series A's out there. Anyways,
A's in the book.
Chris, what do we got today as far as action? I know we got a ton of games.
I'm sticking to 3 games on the show.
I got ear problems here.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead. I just had.
Okay.
I got ear.
Okay. The first one I like. I'm gonna stay in Series A, and I'm gonna go with Atalanta -1.5 against Sampdoria. Sampdoria is near the bottom of the table, and Atalanta is still the highest scoring team in the league by a wide margin. I could easily see them winning this one by a couple of goals. So I'll take Atalanta -1.5, -105.
Rod, what are you looking at?
I like it at Atalanta, even though they burnt me the last 2 weeks. So it's okay. We'll live with it.
Any chance Little Feat changes their song for the Atalanta games now that soccer is front and center instead of "Oh Atlanta, Oh Atalanta"? No.
No, I think they keep it the same. And I'm gonna take Atlanta first half and then full game. I think Atlanta wins the first half and the full game here, and that's at a +100.
For my second one, I'm going to switch over to Spain. I'm going to switch over to La Liga. I'm going to take Villarreal as a sizable dog +210 against Getafe. Villarreal, they lost to Barcelona last time out, but since the restart, they've been one of the league's best teams. I think they picked up 5 out of 6 wins. Getafe is just stumbling lately, so I'll take a shot with Villarreal on the money line +210.
Another one I'm taking. I'm staying in all Syria. I don't like the other Liga. I like Syria, so that's where I'm staying. Fiorentina versus Cagliari. I'm taking both teams to score. Both teams are fighting. They both want some points here, so I think both teams get a score here. Give me both teams to score at -140.
And my last one, I'm gonna stay in Spain. I like a couple of games in Spain today. I like Osasuna as an even bigger dog, a +340. They're unbeaten in their last 4 games. This line's just off to me. Maybe somebody knows something, but I'm gonna guess that I know something different. So I'm gonna take Osasuna +340 against Real Betis.
Who would you rather have in a playoff game, Carson Wentz or Nick Foles?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Okay. Rod, you're up. I'm just throwing it out there.
Segue.
I mean, I just don't even understand this. It's like, how could this guy be on the list?
I don't know. Joe,
I don't get it, man. Trent Dilfer has more meaningful wins than Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, and Carson Wentz combined.
Maybe Blind Man made the list.
I don't know, man. I don't see what any of those guys have over Haskins. I don't see what any of them have over Haskins. Not one of them. Or Cam.
Newton. And the last one for me, I'm taking Syria. Bologna versus Sassuolo. Give me Bologna. I think Bologna wins this game. Give me Bologna money line.
On this question, there's lines on how many times the Astros would be hit by a pitch. Does anyone else think MLB should have automatic ejections when a pitcher hits someone? This would lead to more runs for the fans. Actually, it's at the umpire's discretion. Ejections. It's not like every time he hits a batter, it's a warning. Believe me, if you throw at a guy, you're ejected. A lot of times it's a lot of times when they know they're intentionally throwing at someone, like Ryan Braun when he first came back after the steroid suspension, I mean, he got plunked on a regular basis, and pitchers were thrown out of the game, and they would get high fives in the dugouts. And I've seen Ryan Braun also score the game-winning run on that, ending up on first base, getting bunted around, and then scoring. Seen it bite them in the ass. Anyways, go ahead. Good.
Good.
Yeah,
Chris?
I think
Bird cages, parlays, anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna recap it. You can probably round robin these if you want to go parlay. You could as well. Atalanta -1.5, Villarreal +210, and Osasuna +340. Parlay those pays out about 26-1. I do have another parlay that I like, as well as some value bets and underdogs, and a few prop bets at Sports Chat Place for today.
And that's under the soccer section. I also have them on the front page of the site. Chris does 3 extra articles now. He does one called Best Soccer Parlays, Best Soccer Underdogs, and Best Soccer Prop Bets. It's good stuff. All right.
If you want a bird cage those, go ahead. But you can bird cage Fiorentina versus Cagliari, both teams to score. Bologna money line, and at Atlanta to win the first half and full game. I don't have a number for you, but I'm sure that one's a +100, +130, and a -140. Should get you around 5-6 times your money, maybe a little more.
All right, bring back Steve Monahan, and we will do our wrap-up segments for today. I definitely have a few things I have to get off my chest. Chris, speaking of chests, what do you got?
Yeah, you and me both today. I saw Joel Embiid come out, and he's not the second guy to say that these NBA players, he's worried that they're not going to follow the protocol and the rules of the bubble after Damian Lillard. Now you've got guys like Brook Lopez saying, "Oh, try to see if Adam Silver can keep me and Robin out of Disneyland." If you can't follow these bubble protocol rules, stay home. Don't do it. There's too much at stake. There's people's lives at stake. There's the rest of the season. And, if some of these players still say like they care about their fans, and they're not just there for a paycheck, follow the rules. Let's get this done. It's what everyone wants to see. It's not that hard. Honestly, it's not that hard.
Rod?
One quick thing. Let's see how many NHL players are going to opt out. I'm going to say 0. NHL players want to play hockey unless they have a real family reason. I'm going to say NHL players won't opt out. They want to play. It's not for the money. They want to play hockey and hit somebody. So I'm excited to see that. Can't wait. And a quick, I'm going to call this my Serie A double bird cage. All on the overs, just like we did the other day. I'm going to go Fiorentina over 1.5. Napoli over 2.5. At Atlanta over 2.5. Bologna over 2.5. Torino over 1.5. Roma over 2. Parlay those up, and you get a +618. Really love those overs.
There you
Serie
go.
A.
Serie A. Steve?
Yeah, I just want to comment once again on the Patrick Mahomes contract, meaning this kid, we've talked about him. Obviously, everybody knows what a special talent he is. He's still only 24 years old. Is he going to make $503 million over the course of the year? Chances are next to none that he would. But the contract itself, I think, is great for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are going to be a force to be reckoned with for many years to come now. And the wild card in all this is Andy Reid. Andy Reid is still only 62 years old. And when I saw that he was 62 years old, I really thought Andy Reid was 67 or 68. But he he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, I think Andy Reid will coach for at least 5 years of this contract would be my guess. And I think the flexibility that this contract gives the Chiefs is it gives them the potential, to keep a strong supporting cast around Patrick Mahomes. Now, barring injury, Patrick Mahomes is going to be such a force in the next 5 years. I'm expecting at least another 1 or 2 Super Bowls perhaps out of Kansas City. I can see some MVPs out of him, but I just wanted to bring that up that, Andy Reid I don't think is going to go anywhere for a while. So I think Kansas City is in a real good position right now going forward.
I don't play fantasy sports. I used to play fantasy sports a long time ago, and I used to play them probably right when I got out of college. I drafted Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders in their rookie seasons. That's when I used to play fantasy sports. And Steve Monahan will tell you that that's when I played. And I said, I got Emmitt Smith. And everyone was like, guy's a rookie. Well, I also liked Adrian Peterson his rookie year. Even though he was drafted like 20th in the NFL draft or something like that, or even more, Emmitt Smith as well. But anyways, I don't come on the site and claim to be a fantasy sports expert. I cover sports. We cover all the guys. We know the players. We know that, sometimes we even forget their names. We know so many players, right? We got them all jumbled up. We know them all inside and out. And if I wanted to talk about fantasy sports, I'm probably fairly qualified to do so. Matter of fact, a lot of my friends that play in fantasy leagues, they still ask me for my advice. Hey, man, who are the hot rookies that are coming out this year? Who's the guy that, I could pick up late in my fantasy draft that is probably going to be pretty good, And, but I don't come and try and be an expert and use my platform of Sports Chat Plays and Pick Dogs, where we're clearly a sports betting people and sports betting sites, to all of a sudden start talking about fantasy. We have Brett, who is the best fantasy guy out there. I don't care who any of these other sites say they are. We seem, the people that follow Brett's fantasy picks, they seem to cash on a regular basis. He whips those guys' asses in. But I will say that right now, a lot of these fantasy sites and fantasy people have decided that they want to get in on the sports betting action. I say, bring it on, homeboys. I'm going to whip your asses because you ain't seen nothing like this. And when the pounding stops, the only way the pounding is going to stop for you guys, if you try and mix it up with us, is when you turn out the lights. Because I'll tell you what, man, we don't stop. We bring it 110%. We don't care about what color font our name is on the screen. We don't care about any of those things. We care about winning bets, and that's what we've done. We didn't become betting people. We didn't become, we weren't like fantasy people that all of a sudden pretended that we knew how to bet. Well, it's sort of like prop bets. No, it isn't. Okay? You're going to find out the hard way. And I say put your money where your mouth is. I challenge any of those fantasy guys out there who are converting to betting. It's fantasy something, bet. Right? It's like I say, bring your A game, boys. Come on the show. Let's go head to head. Mix it up with any capper we have on our entire board. Pick the one you want. Out of all of our pro cappers, put it against your top guy. Put your money where your mouth is. I say I'll put up whatever you guys want because I know exactly how this is going to end. How about this? Put up your best parlay guy up against Zawacki. I dare you. I absolutely dare you. And we'll see who can just add bets to the end of their name and call themselves experts. I think Rod would welcome the challenge. I'll tell you what, I'll put Ruffalo up against them too. I mean, I don't get it, man. It's like all these fantasy guys. It's like you kind of. It's like this is our thing, right? It's like I've always said, when I get emails from people. Yeah, the premium area is just being built. Someone's asking about the premium. It's built. Some of the cappers are loading up their packages. I'm going to load up my packages on there today. Those people that have a credit with me on my old premium area, the credit will be carried over to the new premium. The amount of time that you have left and everything will be carried over, starting with baseball, the first day of baseball. And it'll go NBA and all that other stuff. So, yeah, we are going to have that. Matter of fact, we're hoping to have UFC picks this weekend. I won't be having it because I don't cover UFC, though I could be Mitch UFC match, right? All of a sudden, right? It's like just, well, man, maybe I can make a couple bucks doing UFC, so I'll just have Mitch UFC or something. We'll call myself UFC. It's a regular Mitch, and then I'll have another site, Mitch UFC. Something, right? It's like all of a sudden, does that make me a UFC expert all of a sudden? I mean, what a joke. Oh, man. I hate those fantasy guys. So smarmy. It's like, you ever watch a game with the fantasy guys? You ever watch a game with these guys? You ever, like, go to a bar or, like, you know, say, oh, come over to my house and watch the game, like, after playing golf. It's like, I got a bunch of TVs, got, like, 20 people coming over. It's like, yay, Julian Edelman scored a touchdown. The Patriots are winning. Oh, but I'm playing against Edelman in my league. But hey, but I got this quarterback in my other league. And you're sitting there. It's like, how many leagues is this freaking guy in? You know, it's like, it's annoying. You know, I find fantasy sports just absolutely annoying. And that's why the guys who are the kings of fantasy sports, DraftKings and FanDuel, are running for the hills at the very first opportunity to do so. We're going to DraftKings Sportsbook and FanDuel Sportsbook, right? I don't know, man. I really don't know. But anyways, our premium area should be open this weekend. We'll have soccer and UFC in there. A couple of the guys, if that's what the guys cover, they'll be able to put stuff in there. I'm not expecting a big crowd to turn out, you know, to buy soccer and UFC picks. We're just trying to test things, you know. But if it is something you're interested in, we should have it available from the regular guys that you know, and we also have a lot of new guys, like I said, that are joining us. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The fantasy players are the ones that the sports books like because they love. Sportsbooks love guys that love the golf. They love them. They love them. Jared Goff's awesome. I love that Rams defense. Oh, the Rams Chiefs? Oh, that Rams defense is so good this year. It's like, God, I think that's going to go under. It's like what? Like 635 to 574? Who's giving UFC premium picks? I'm not sure yet. I know a guy named Chris Elliott has said that he's going to put in some premium UFC picks. I know Brian Bittler said he's putting in some premium UFC picks. I don't know if Chris and Rod will have premium UFC picks. I think that they'll have some free picks on the show. And then I think they'll also have some premium picks in the premium area just to dip their toes in the water and get acquainted with the system and stuff and, you know, kind of get things rolling there. I think it's probably a good idea if they do that. Of course, the whole thing that you have to remember, though, is that it's same thing, you know, like I've always had a premium area, right? Not always, but I've had one since people asked me to do it, is that I don't give out anything less for free because I have a premium area. I just don't give out my premium picks. But it's like I still, you know, manage to give out tons and tons and tons and tons of picks. I might not be Mr. a la carte. I'll give you every pick that you ask me, you know. I don't do that anyway, right? That's how we normally get into this. That's how I have the reputation that I have. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Monahan's getting a little restless down there. Maybe his oatmeal's been sitting in the pot a little too long. Anyways, have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow.